Hi, I'm Brian Colburn. I'm the CEO of MUSE, and we are a live music organization that brings the power of performance and the history of American musicology to our audiences and really uplifts them through a message of why music matters and how it's changed our history. We reach audiences throughout Los Angeles, and we also serve the most vulnerable among us with our collaborations with over 20 nonprofit social service agencies in the region. And it really is a labor of love, and we are thrilled to bring this work to our community. Daily tasks at MUSE are really all about designing an experience for the audience. And that could come in all kinds of ways. It can come in research and musicology that we do a year ahead of the experience. It can come in a few days before the experience. We're planning where everyone's going to sit. But it's all about how do we make a music experience that is going to be empowering, uplifting, welcoming, energizing for the audience. So we really do spend every day planning how that's going to happen. MUSE was founded in 2011 to bring a whole new kind of experience to the performing arts field. We felt that there were a lot of barriers, not just of price and access, but of custom and the feeling that people don't belong in live, fine performing arts. And we wanted to create something that was very welcoming, but that also got the music straight to the center of the listener's heart, that we would remove all the barriers of cultural literacy, genre prejudices. So everything we do is designed to lower the defenses and increase the enthusiasm of the person coming to the show or the person attending one of our education events. And we felt that that was missing, that too many people felt left out, that they didn't belong. And so welcoming access and education in a way that is incredibly fun is at the heart of why music exists and why we have seen so much growth over the last few years. So one of the things we're most excited about is the expansion of our education program, particularly our music encounters that go straight out to the classrooms, to the agency service locations of the most esteemed social service agency partners in our region. And what we're doing there is we're taking live performance, but also an exploration of the meaning of the songs that we're performing, and we're asking participants to get involved, to start thinking about why it matters to them, that if they were to create their own work of art or their own song or their own piece of visual art, how would they relate the meaning and how does it matter in their lives today? We might do a song that's 50 years old or 100 years old, but the point of doing that song is that it's lifting us up today. It's helping us overcome the obstacles in our lives today. And that's what we're trying to show the young people we work with in difficult circumstances. We work with senior citizens, we work with everybody in the community, because everybody, I think, feels like they need a greater level of empowerment, a connection to their humanity to overcome the difficulties that we have in our modern life. And that's really what we're doing with the music. It's music for a purpose, and I think that's what sets MUSE apart and why we're seeing so much growth. Well, one of the success stories that I like to talk about, and it always tends to be that our successes, our favorite successes, are the most recent ones because everything that we do is creating new excitement. But recently we did a show about the history of Broadway in America and what that means and how Broadway has been a center of hope and an engine of hope really in the American culture. And a lot of people think of the razzle-dazzle and the kick lines and other aspects of Broadway that are spectacular, but we focused on the hope. And when people left that show, I had a gentleman, an older gentleman, say to me when he was leaving, we had tears in his eyes, and he said, "I have greater belief in this country now, having seen this show, that we've always been an essentially hopeful nation." And he saw that. And then when we were able to take that same message out to our social service agency partners and impart that, it's just incredibly energizing that we have a reason that we're doing the music beyond just the spectacle of it, beyond trying to make audiences cheer and clap, which they do, but they also leave just feeling that they've been empowered, and that's the goal. What sets MUSE apart is the way our programs are designed in response to the needs of our partners. So when we are working with public audiences, we're working through partnerships throughout Los Angeles where they have unique audiences, and we're serving those audiences in collaboration with our venue partners. That also is the case in our education program, where we're working with social service agencies about the unique needs of their constituents. And we really redesign every music lesson for every specific constituency. So we'll go into an agency that's dealing with developmentally disabled children, for example, and we'll ask them, how can we use music to help lift the belief of your constituents, to help them see greater possibilities for themselves? And they help us tailor these programs that we deliver. That's how we really are adapting music to the needs of the community in a direct way. The whole architecture is partnership, and so we are designed in response to what people need from the music. The greatest challenge music is facing right now is replicating the magic of what we do at scale. Inherently, what we do is very personal, it's very intimate. We're telling a story about music that's empowering the individual listener, concert goer. And inherently for us, that has meant concerts with intimate audiences, 500-600 people rather than 6,000-7,000 people at a time. So now we're trying to do this at scale. This goes for our education program too. We serve people in groups of 10 or 20, not 300 or 500. And so now there's greater demand for music, and we're looking to expand our overall reach from 5,000 a few years ago to now 15, 25, 35,000 and beyond in the next few years. And how do we maintain the intimacy and the personal meaning at that kind of scale? And the way we do it is through partnership, through responding specifically to how our partners see the music, need the music, and they help us really broker relationships with the constituents that we serve so that we're able to leverage the expertise of our partners to keep an intimate experience but serve a lot more people. MUSE is in the middle of a 2-year project about the history of change in America and how that has been driven forward by music. And so we're doing 12 concerts about major moments in American music history, whether it's the time when Dylan went electric and changed all of music forever, or it's the time when Abraham Lincoln listened to music in the White House to help him overcome the tectonic challenges of his presidency. At the times of greatest change in America, when we made the most progress, music has been at the center of it. And our thesis is that the essential characteristic of American music is that it makes change. It's not preservative. It doesn't preserve the old prejudicial ways. It moves us forward. And through 12 major concerts all over the city, we're sharing that message, and we're seeing audiences uplifted by it, and they want more. And so now we're looking to see what is our next cycle going to be in the next 2 years. What topics can we explore for audiences after we go through this cycle? We often say that partnership is the architecture of music. We don't have a building, we don't have a performing arts hall that's our own. We work with partners. The same is true of our education program. We don't have our own classrooms, we don't have our own rehearsal hall. We have designed the entire organization to be in partnership. There's no physical structure. The structure is the needs of our partners. Now, whether these are artistic partners who are helping us dream up the content that's on stage, or whether they're our education partners who are helping us understand how to connect mid-20th century music to a modern audience of today, we get that information through our partners, so they directly shape everything we do. If there's any misconception about music, it's about how different it is from a customary concert-going experience. If you were to fly a drone over one of our concerts and not listen to it, it might look like any other concert that you see out there. But when you're in it, when you're immersed in it, you'll see that how interactive, how empowering it is, how much education content is woven into every public performance. And so we are really counteracting a lot of customs and norms of the nonprofit arts industry. And one of the main factors that we focus on is membership versus ticket sales. So if you're being part of MUSE, you're going to become a member. You're part of it. We don't ask you to re-buy every time you want to come to a show. You're always invited. And that's central to our philosophy, that we want everyone to belong, everyone to be involved, and our artists share this too. It's part of a mission. They are enlisted in the storytelling, in the audience relationship, and that's why they're inspired. They don't just do the concert. In the weeks after the concert, they're out there with our 20 social service agency partners imparting the message of the music. That's extra work for them, but I think it doesn't feel like work. I think it reminds them of the purpose of why they picked up an instrument in the first place. And so that's very special. But I think the differences are nuanced, but they're just highly leveraged. So the differences that we're committed to in musique, whether it's curation focus, whether it's membership, whether it's genre blending, the interdisciplinary approach, all of these things that we hold fast to make a leveraged difference that absolutely changes the mind and the heart of the person leaving each concert experience. We have two growth goals at musique. Obviously, we think that the work on stage and in the classroom is very special, and more people need to benefit from it. So we have a growth strategy. It's growth through partnership, so it's a smart growth strategy, but we want to double and triple our audience reach over the next 3, 5, 10 years. We have a strategic plan that calls for a measured growth over time, and that's very important. But the other goal that we have that's also a growth goal is a little more viral. We want to be a model for a different way of doing nonprofit live performing arts so that other people, we can only serve so many people in music. Even with wild success, we can saturate the Los Angeles area, but ultimately we'd love to see other folks doing curation forward, member focused, interdisciplinary concerts that welcome and empower all. And I think a lot of people have asked us how they can garner the same kind of excitement and growth that we have seen at musique, and we encourage them to adopt some of these methods because we think they're so special. And so we'd both like to see growth within our own audience, but we'd love to see others trying these methods that we've found to be so effective. Musique is involvement oriented, so the way that you participate is not to buy a ticket and have a value exchange and judge it. We want everyone to get involved. That's how our model operates. So one way to become involved is to become a member, and there's a membership at every level. No matter your budget, we have an access point for you to become involved, to be invited, to be included. And if you can't be a member, or even if you are a member, there's a lot of volunteer opportunities. So we're doing a lot in the community, and we're doing a lot of civic work around every concert, and that involves volunteerism. And there's a spirit of that around each of our shows and each of our education programs. So we invite people to volunteer, to get involved in the work. Another way that we ask people to get involved is to just come and invite people. Our growth is really not through traditional marketing. We have a lot of great messaging, but we're really asking people to come, love it, and invest their time. Come again, bring more people. And that's how we are asking people to get more involved. And we'd love to just see them, grow our audience by bringing more people, bringing more volunteers, and just building a movement. It's really a movement-based growth strategy. Musique is a small nonprofit in many ways, but with a great big passion at the center of it. And we want people to come and experience that passion, come get involved. I think the reason that we have so much passion among our staff and artists is that we're connecting people to their own humanity. And when you see that happen, when you see that light go on, it just empowers everyone and energizes everyone to do more. And I think that's the message that we want to impart. Come experience a better idea of yourself through live music. And when you do that, we love you, and we want you to get more involved and do more. And our staff and our artists have done an incredible job of bringing people together in that message.
Would you love to impact the lives of local youth? At Coffee with a Cause, we pair mentors with graduates from our job readiness program. We need mentors like you to empower youth in Pasadena. As a mentor, you'll guide youth who've experienced foster care, homelessness, or the justice system, helping them with job hunting, retention, and life skills. You may be wondering, what level of commitment is needed? We are asking for 1 meeting a month, plus some occasional check-ins. Help us make sure every youth transitions to long-term employment with support. Please visit us at coffeewithacause.org to learn more. My name is Dan Davidson, founder of Coffee with a Cause and Rosebud Coffee. And I have the privilege of leading a wonderful team as we grow and scale our job readiness program for transitional aged youth here in Pasadena and also LA County. We embarked on our journey many years ago with a coffee cart that launched our job readiness program. We were serving quality coffee throughout LA, but we did this with youth who were exiting homelessness or the foster care system or the justice system. And we paired them to join us in this endeavor. And we went about for a few years with the coffee cart, learning also business. And then finally, when we had the full confidence of opening our own permanent location here in Pasadena, we opened Rosebud Coffee in 2017. Yeah, good question. Why coffee? Well, coffee is, first of all, just something I love. Having spent time in Europe growing up, my dad was in the military, so I had opportunity to grow up overseas. And coffee brings the community together. And that was something that I really wanted to see happen here locally. And so coffee was a vehicle for us to bring the community together, but it also is a vehicle for young people who are entering the workforce. It's a job that really anyone can get trained in. And so it's a very easy kind of entry-level opportunity to get started. But of course, as coffee has grown and this third wave of specialty coffee has taken over, we've learned that coffee also leads to full careers with the depth of knowledge and interest and passion that people have for it. So coffee was a wonderful way for us to bring community together and also begin the young people in this job that would take them as far as they want to go. As far as our key programming goes, we provide on-the-job live training for transitional age youth. And what that means is a young person is trained in soft skills and then in hard skills that would prepare them for a job. And our main site is Rosebud Coffee, which is our local social enterprise coffee shop that's wholly owned by Coffee with a Cause. But we also have 8 other sites, so a total of 9 sites that the youth can go to for their paid internship. And these sites include construction and landscaping and retail and IT and personal training, so we have lots of opportunities. And a third of them also provide certifications if they would like to pursue that as well. So our main programming allows for the young people to kind of have a choice as far as what they want to pursue. And through that process of 3 to 6 months of paid internship and training, they're ready for a job. But our program is actually 15 months altogether because after the training, they enter into the job of their choice, and we pair them with a mentor that will help them transition into that position, that will check in with them and make sure things are going well and that they're able to, smoothly find their feet there and retain that position. And in that process, they're on their way to finding a long-term sustainable career. So the youth are referred to us by local nonprofits who provide other services, but we're grateful to have many partnerships of referral partners. And so in our program, we run 3 cohorts a year, and before each cohort, our referral partners will send youth that would be interested in our job training program. So it's been wonderful to work with young people in a very specific time of their life when they are truly finding themselves and pursuing what is most interesting and their passions. So when I think of our success stories, I think of Kimberly, who came to us very quiet and a bit timid, and her time at the cafe really helped her find confidence, especially in serving customers, and also helped train her palate in coffee profiles. And in doing so, she got really excited about culinary arts. And through our program and her preparedness, she applied to Disney and then went on to do an internship with Disney in their culinary program. And she's been doing wonderful with them ever since. I also think of Trinity. Trinity was one of the young ladies that came to us from a referral partner, struggling a little bit with mental health and depression. And she found a safe space with our community, with our team. And through that process, she was able to find healing and confidence to pursue what she loved, which actually ended up being coffee. She was a young person that came to us with a wonderful coffee palate and a passion for it. And now the exciting part with Trinity is through our partnership with Starbucks, she's been placed at one of the Starbucks sites near her home. And so Trinity is well established and able to access all the support that they offer. And we're excited to see Trinity really find her place with Starbucks now. So we stay informed with the needs of our students, our interns, mainly because they're with us every single day. So Rosebud Coffee is a live on-the-job site training in our program. And so every day we're interacting with our interns. We're also able to learn more and understand what's happening because one of our graduates, Trinity, is on the board. And so when our board gathers, her input is critical to helping us understand how to best meet the needs of our interns. And then also we're just paying attention as through our referral partners to what's happening. And we've learned that especially for youth in the foster system, the opportunity for livable wage and a career readiness that we can prepare them for is critical. We've learned that statistically for transitional age youth, the rates among employment for them is 15 to 31% less than their peers. And that stays with them throughout their 20s, and it begins to impact their career trajectory and how much they can make over the long term. And so we know we really have to intervene early on because it will have a compounding effect over their lifetime in a career. So it's really important for us to get involved early on to help them prepare for the best employment opportunities. We are most excited about growth and scaling what we've been able to accomplish here in Pasadena through our social enterprise, Rosebud Coffee, and our job training program with 9 different sites. And so we are ready to expand to a new location and have a greater impact in serving more youth in LA County. So we're excited to double our efforts and to be able to help anywhere from 40 to 50 youth per site. And so we're working right now to opening that second location in Northeast LA. So I think the first obstacle that we face in achieving our goals is finding mentors. So mentors are a critical part of our 15-month program. Mentors allow for youth who've gone through the soft skill training, the hard skill training, and are ready to transition into employment, having the support they need to stay employed. And so our mentors come alongside for a year, helping them process and transition into this new job. So finding volunteers is one of our obstacles. And so we would love to invite anyone that's interested in supporting us to be a mentor. And that simply means taking just one meeting a month with a youth to check in and make sure that things are going well as they transition into employment. The other barrier, of course, as we scale and grow and go to new locations is raising the funds to start those new locations. So we're always looking for support financially as well with the startup costs for each new location that we see on the horizon. Yeah, so Coffee with a Cause is part of an ecosystem of support services for transitional age youth in Pasadena. So all the work we do because we are well connected to other youth agencies that are providing support services for transitional age youth, as well as the educational institutions, right? PUSD or PCC here in Pasadena, and even the community foundations support the work that we do. So it's really important that what takes place in a community so that the youth have all the support over all parts of life, because we know our position is really in the job training program, in the readiness for a career. So helping the youth, making sure that they're well cared for with housing and education and case management, all of that takes place before they come to us as part of the ecosystem we're with. And then we can prepare them for self-sustainability. So I'm not sure this is a myth I wanted to dispel, but what I did want to share is as a social enterprise, we have 2 bottom lines. We have the service to the youth in our job training program that I've mentioned, but we also have our local coffee shop that provides amazing quality coffee. And we focus efforts on both because we know our story might draw someone to Rosebud to visit, but it's gonna be the quality and the customer service and the amazing coffee that brings them back. And so our team is hard at work on both angles, making sure that our social enterprise generates funds to support the program, and also making sure that the program is successful in helping launch youth into careers. What makes our coffee unique is we roast our coffee in-house at the shop. That means we have, with the support of our roaster, the opportunity to source the coffees that we're interested in with the right kind of flavor profiles we love. but also are having a social impact themselves. So we work with farmers and with coffee sourcers who also have this social impact mindset, making sure that from seed to cup, we're making a difference in whatever community is touching the coffee along the way. Where do we see Coffee with a Cause going? I think this might be my favorite question from where I get to sit in the organization. And that's really seeing what we've done here, which is very special here in Pasadena, scale to other cities. I believe that what we've developed, being Pasadena's only social enterprise cafe, with a program that's very successful in serving youth and preparing them for jobs, that could be any success for any city in LA County and beyond. So I'm most excited about taking this model that we've developed and we've honed over many years into new locations throughout LA County. And beyond that too, maybe there's other US cities that this is gonna be a good fit for. But what that will do is not only will it develop a, kind of a new ecosystem to care for transitional age youth in their area, but it will make sure that no young person doesn't have an opportunity to find the vocation or the career or the job that's going to lead them to success and a livable wage. So we are proud to be Pasadena's only social enterprise cafe, and we love our local community. So we would invite you to come visit us at Rosebud Coffee to learn more about our job training program for youth, but also to enjoy a delicious cup of coffee. So we hope we'll see you soon.